Tariq kills Monet. Kane kills Tariq.
I'm tough on y'all, especially you, because I love you.
Diana, stick to a fucking story. It was Tariq.
Thing I did for our family.
Welcome back, Top Notch Gang, to another video, and as you can see, we're talking about our girl Monet in this one, her path to forgiveness or revenge, what route she take, all her storylines and plot points with her children, Tariq, and everyone in the last and final season. We're gonna dive into it all. We also got new exclusive photos of the return of Mecca and Lorenzo, so we're gonna talk about that hallucination moment, when, where, and why it's taking place. And I think based off the teaser trailer, the exclusive photos, as well as the official trailer that we just received, we're able to piece a lot of these clips together and explain what's gonna take place, along with the fact that we got the leaked descriptions for all the episodes up to episode 9. So it's a lot to get into. I appreciate if you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know any other videos on any characters you would like to see before the full season comes out. And also, I have a debt predictions video coming soon, so put your debt predictions down below in the comments. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So we got to start with episode 1 because this is where the hallucination will take part. As we know, the season is picking up right where we left off at the end of season 3 with the shootout. As we saw in the trailer, Noma is telling them her Tariq problems end tonight. They're all wearing the exact same clothes, same as Brady and Tariq. We saw them drive off in the car. We saw a scene in the trailer of them getting loaded up with a bunch of guns, once again wearing the same clothes, as well as episode 4:1, I Don't Die Easy description saying Monet fights for her life and for another chance to do right by her children. So we know the hospital scene we saw in the trailer in the background, this is of course the hallucination she's gonna be having with Lorenzo and Mecca. Now this is very interesting with these two people popping up at once, with her having a big hand in their death, because they could have did someone like Zeke who meant a lot to her, but they chose two specific people that she took out firsthand, of course setting up Lorenzo and then her actually being the one to pull the trigger on Mecca. Now the Lorenzo thing, we seen him pop up once before.
They're gonna figure it out. And when they do, those kids are never gonna forgive you.
He basically called that they were going to find out what she did and hold her accountable. He said they would never forgive her, and of course they did. When Diana found the file that Tariq had about the fingerprints, then she brought it to Dru. They were able to connect the dots. Of course, with Kane already having speculation about this since the very beginning, but Monet kind of shut him down about it. They ended up confronting her, and that's really how everything got kicked off. Now in this scene, he's more than likely just going to be doing a victory lap, probably telling her that the kids would be better off if she wasn't there. But I believe two things. One, she believes that there actually is a path to forgiveness for her kids, which is why I say she's gonna fight to survive. And two, that she blames Lorenzo for a lot of this mess. We saw her have this conversation with Diana in the car.
You put all this on me, but what about Lorenzo's hand in raising you? He chose this life for us, not me. Dealing was Lorenzo's hustle. We raised y'all like soldiers, and it was easy to see you that way.
Telling her what about Lorenzo's hand in this, that this was his hustle that he got them involved in, and that she was forced to raise them like soldiers to make it easier on herself. So I truly believe that's the angle she gonna attack Lorenzo from, and I do think there is a path to forgiveness for her kids. We already saw it in the car scene. Diana was about to bring her back inside before Tasha spent the block. It just all went to shit too fast and it was way too late. Now for Dru, on the other hand, she did kill his boyfriend too, so you know he's ready to crash out, or at least got him to do it. So he probably don't give a fuck. He probably still wants her dead based off what we see in the trailer. We're gonna have to wait and see for that, but there is some sort of path to forgiveness, and that's why she wants to try so hard to survive. She also still believes that all of the decisions she made for the family was the right ones, as she said in this trailer.
Everything I did for our family.
Now, the interesting part will be how Mecca being here changes that dynamic. I know a lot of people kind of were pissed that both of these characters got killed off a little prematurely. They felt like they had a lot of potential, so I know a lot of people are glad to see them back on the screen. The only real perspective or conversation I could see being had between them two is mainly focused on Zeke, but they kind of already had that conversation when she shot him.
Zeke already hates you. You killed his girlfriend, Carrie, and you lied about it. If you do this to Zeke, you kill his father. He's gonna hate you for the rest of his life.
Him telling her Zeke would never forgive her, but of course Lorenzo killed Zeke, so that didn't even matter. So this is gonna be the first real conversation. Not even real, it's a fucking hallucination. But this is just gonna be more so focused on Zeke, is what I think. And they're just gonna be trying to guilt trip her, put all the blame on her. But I don't think she's gonna be going for that shit at all. But that's basically the premise for these hallucinations. And once again, it will be taking place in episode 1, based off the description, based off the clothes she's wearing and everything like that. It just makes the most sense. So now we gotta talk about her hunt for Dru and Diana that's gonna take place once she finds out that they set this whole shit up, which is why I named it Revenge or Forgiveness, because she's gonna go down both paths. As we can see in the episode 3 description, it tells us Monet digs into who shot her, realizing her kids might not be being honest with her. And this is of course when she's gonna find out that they did it. I'm pretty sure now that that video or the teaser of her screaming is actually when she finds out that her kids set all this up. We'll go into more detail about that later, but when we go into the episode 404, The Reckoning, it says Dru and Diana are on the run, Tariq and Monet are on the hunt. Monet must decide between the path to revenge and the path to forgiveness. So as I said, as the title of this video and everything indicates, she's gonna be having to make hard decisions. But we already saw in the trailer Dru and Diana running away from these apartments, and then we see Monet and Kane pop up on screen and they're shooting at the black car. So we could reasonably assume, because it's the same apartments, that Dru and Diana are in this car, and it looks like Kane and Monet are in cahoots. She's right there when he's shooting at them. And of course, I think all of this is prior to her finding out Diana is pregnant. I think that's when everything will shift. We'll get to that next though. But I think the more two important things for her revenge section of this video is how does she find out if it won't be Tariq, because we'll talk about that in the Diana section once again, like I said. But if it won't be him, I'm interested to see how this information is revealed to her, and also why Kane chose her side. Not necessarily that he chose her side, because obviously they went behind his back, but he knew that Lorenzo killed Zeke and he didn't care. He just used that to gain extra power. But would he really feel some type of way about them killing Monet, or did they do something else, cause some more harm, like to Effie or to something else he care about, that is making him want to kill them? He's literally shooting at them, trying to take them out. So that's the interesting part I want to see with them on this hunt, because when it is revealed that Diana is pregnant, will Kane just stop? Will he give up? Depending on what his motivation is for doing all this, that's the point I want to look at in the first few episodes to see how I could predict everything that's going to take place going forward after that. We already know this grudge won't last long, at least for Monet's side, because we already saw in the descriptions. Once again, for 404, it says Monet must decide between the path to revenge and the path to forgiveness. And going into 405, it says Monet fights to keep her family together, basically letting us know what she decided to do, that she made up her mind. And I think this is heavily influenced by the pregnancy. And of course 406 tells us Monet fights to get her family from under Carter's thumb. So her decisions have been made. She wants to keep her family as together as possible with all that they've already lost. So let's get into the pregnancy side of things and how I could see that playing out just going terribly. This is the scene that is going to be revealed to Monet and Tariq that Diana is pregnant. And I'm going to explain how we know. We see Tariq enter the house in the all black and point the gun at Diana. Now, we saw in the teaser trailer when it was gray and white, Tariq was in a standoff with someone and everyone was assuming it was either Dru or Kane. But now we know it's Monet, because we got a sneak peek in this trailer where we see the person with the gun is wearing a white white sweater. We get another moment of Monet in this trailer with this white sweater on, and we see her sitting at the table with Diana. Once again, Diana wearing the exact same black clothes that she had on when Tariq approached her. Then we get these scenes of all of them looking kind of confused. Diana just announced something. Further proof of this is when we see in the trailer Tariq go attack Salim. He's once again wearing the exact same jean jacket and fit, and even has the gloves on that he had on when he approached Diana. So we could reasonably assume that these events take place one after another in the same episode. And I think more than likely this will be a mid-season finale announcement in episode 405. But now this is where I think everything starts to go wrong, especially for Diana. Specifically episode 6 through 8, we see episode 6 saying that Diana's face were stepping further into the game or risking her family's safety. And then going straight into episode 407, it says when tragedy strikes, Tariq and the Tejadas are set on a mission to avenge what they've lost. I think this is big, major, and important because when I first read it in a video a few weeks ago, people were telling me this could lead to Diana's death. This could be what it's possibly alluding to. And now with Tariq getting involved and it said this tragedy is striking him too, I think it possibly makes sense. He could have lost his child or lost Diana. And even in description 8, it talks about Kane and Dru at war with one another, battling for the streets. So it seems like the family is not going to reconcile. It's only going to get worse. When you think the baby would help and everybody would get on the same page, like, okay, we're all working to protect Diana, so we have a common goal. But if that all falls apart and Diana does die, or she has a miscarriage, or she loses the baby in some way, shape, or form, the Tejada family will completely collapse. So Monet just might be a little too late with this epiphany and this forgiveness and wanting this family and everything to work out. With this being the last and final season, we're expecting a lot of chaos. And oh man, if Diana or her baby and this pregnancy gets caught up in all this, it's just gonna be so fucking wild. Overall, that's it for this video. As usual, you guys can leave your thoughts and opinions down below. It's not looking good for the Tejada family. I expect maybe one of them to make it out this season alive. You could tell me which of them you predict for it to be. Once again, it just might be too little too late for Monet to make all this work. With Dru and Kane fighting, and it says at episode 8, one of them is gonna take the other one out. I'm hoping our girl Diana is safe. I know y'all hating on Dirty Diana right now, but if she is pregnant, I don't want her to die. Maybe if she wasn't, I want Tariq to smoke her because she did fuck over him. But come on now, she can't die if she's pregnant. I'ma feel so bad, but y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all in my comments, y'all ruthless. But as usual, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what other videos you want to see before the new season drops. And once again, leave your debt predictions down below as well. I'm out.